Hey again YouTube, Nutjob with Machete back with the review. Now of course, obviously it's what I'm wearing. This is the Cold Steel Hideout. You might have seen Chris Tanner from Prepared Mind do a review on it. I've used this thing for about a year. It's the fiance's self-defense item of choice actually. So I've been testing it out pretty much ever since we got it last year. And yeah, I'm actually fairly impressed with it. You know what? Rather than talk about it, why don't I just show you guys? This is frozen pork. It's the same frozen pork that you guys might have seen in the Condor review. If you didn't watch that, well, let's put a link here. This is frozen pork, so it's actually, it was defrosting for about an hour before the test. It was defrosting in the fridge, so the top layer of the meat is slightly thawed, the rest of the meat is completely frozen, and this thing, well, you know what? Show, don't tell. Let's go to that, we'll be right back.
Hideout penetrated. This is mostly frozen pork, and let's see what it did. Oh yeah.
I mean, as you can see, this thing actually, penetration-wise into frozen meat, it actually worked even better than I anticipated. The secret to that, I think, is essentially, it's a dagger point. Not only that, it actually has really good spot to get on me. I have slightly longer hands, a good full palm load, and great penetration. Well, I've brought it out. I might as well show it to you guys. So this is the Hideout. Sorry, it's really bright in here. So, but yeah, double-edged with a nice pointy tip. It is made from stainless steel. It has a full tang. This is a rubber overmold, so it's actually got really good grip. It's, admittedly, when I first got it, I was thinking of getting one for myself, but I got one for the fiance. When I first got it, I realized it's tiny, but that also acts as a bonus because it works really well under the shirt. I mean, and you got it. You don't really need much for penetration. You know, 2 inches in the right spot and the person will bleed out. Plus, this thing actually works really well for slashes. Piece of paper. I missed that last one and actually just did the tip, but yeah. It holds an edge fairly well. I mean, it's the regular stainless steel. So you can sharpen it up really, really sharp. And as a self-defense item, you don't necessarily need it to hold that edge for a very long time. You want to get it sharp so that when you do whatever you need to do, if it's slashes or stabs or just, you know, psycho, it'll do that. It doesn't have to hold up for a long period of time. Do I think it could use a better steel? Not necessarily. The price point on this thing, if I remember correctly, was like $35 or somewhere thereabouts. You know what, we'll put the price, where I got it from, all the specs and everything below. And this thing is actually really good for that price. It is small, yes. I mean, like I said, this is hammer fisting around it. It just barely pokes out at the bottom here on the handle, and this comes out. But that's all you need. It is surprisingly handy for any sort of self-defense situation. Its sheath, take it off, is your standard Cold Steel Secure-Ex Sheath. It even says Secure-Ex. Ball chain lanyard, pop it in, and it snaps in. Now, why did I show it to you like that? Well, it's actually got 2 teeth, top and bottom, on either side, and it snaps behind these. So it's actually fairly secure. And when I say fairly secure, I mean like, yeah. So it'll take a pull to actually get it out. So when it's in the sheath, it's secure. You don't have to worry about it falling out, falling down, anything like that. But when you're in whatever scenario you need it for, there, it's done, it's out, and it's perfectly ready to, do whatever you need. There's not a lot of bells and whistles to it. I mean, admittedly, I've thrown this thing. It's not the best for throwing. Don't get me wrong, it actually throws really well, but because of the softer steel, repeated impacts into a throwing target, unless it's something soft like an archery target or cardboard, the tip might start to roll over a little bit. That's it. That's the only drawback. But I mean, it's not a throwing knife, it's a self-defense item. And it is actually really good for that. I highly recommend this for anyone who, if there is a size carry restriction in your area, this might actually fall underneath that carry restriction. It's really great for anyone who is starting out or who doesn't really know a lot of self-defense, because this is, small enough that you're not really going to harm yourself very easily, but it's also, get away, that kind of stuff. It's also really good for, practitioners. If you think you need something like this, you could even put it on your belt if you wanted to, toss it in, your glove box, anything like that, where like a neck knife like this, and in whatever situation arises, you've got what you need. There's not really anything else I can add to it. I mean, it penetrates really well, it slashes really well, it's fairly comfortable in the hand, it will take a razor edge, and that's all you really need. And of course, if you need it to, it can always hide out. But sorry, I had to do it. Well, that's about it. I mean, there's not really anything else I can add to it. The hideout, great little self-defense item. Thanks for watching this review, guys. If you like reviews like this, please feel free to click like, feel free to subscribe for more videos like this in the future, and as always, feel free to share this video as much as you want. And until next time, guys, I'm Nutjob with machete, with a little knife that is surprisingly handy. Stay sharp and safe.